Hello and welcome to another episode of my Productivity Mastery series. My name is Pullein and this week I want to give you my 4 favourite task managers. Now, before I get to these 4 task managers, I should add a caveat. I'm all about simplicity. For me, simplicity is the key. So if you're here looking for a fully featured, lots of little toys to play with task manager, then probably stop watching right now because none of these 4 task managers have a lot of features. They have features I believe a good task manager needs, but no more and no less. Now, I also should point out that this is completely subjective. It is entirely my opinion. I am sure many of you will disagree with me, but that's life, and that's why there's hundreds, if not thousands, of task managers out there, and I'm sure you can find something that you like. So let's get started with my top number 1 favorite task manager, and it probably comes as no surprise to anyone that my favorite one is Todoist. It's the one I use every single day. It is the hub of my task management. I've been using it now, I calculated, for 8 years. I have no intention of changing, and the reason I love Todoist is it can be as simple as you want to make it, yet it does give you the absolute necessary features that any good task manager will have, which is the ability to add dates and recurring dates, of course. It also gives you the ability to add labels, or in the GTD world it would be called context, and you can create as many folders, projects as you like. If you're on the paid version, if you're on the free version, you get to be able to add only 5, but I've been using the professional version for 8 years, so of course I don't come up against that limit. And that's it. But the other thing about Todoist is it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. Its UI is simple. It's so easy to use. Its capture system is fantastic, whether you're using a mobile device or whether you're using it on the desktop. And it is so seamless. As I say, I've been using Todoist for 8 years now. I don't believe I've ever had a case where it has crashed on me. It's solid, it works, it's just so smooth. I think that's largely because Todoist keep it simple and only add little features that are useful. Because Todoist is run by a company that actually used Todoist, its founder, Amir, actually created it for himself to manage his task while he was at university. So it has come from somebody who genuinely has an interest in task management, and it's just a great application. But I don't think that came as any surprise to anyone. That's Todoist. My second one is a little bit out there, but it's even more simple than Todoist. I don't think it could get any simpler, but once again, it's built by somebody who really cares. And that is the application TeuxDeux. Now, TeuxDeux is spelt in the French word T-E-U-X, D-E-U-X. Now, the reason I love TeuxDeux is, again, largely because of its simplicity. It's almost as if it was designed for the time sector system. I did do a video on this for the time sector system course. But the thing about TeuxDeux is you get to see your week right in front of you if you're using it on the desktop. Now, if you're using it on a mobile app, you get to see just today. You see today's list of tasks. It's really, couldn't really get more simpler than that. But it's so easy to drag your tasks around. It's wonderful to actually check off a task because you just tap it, it checks off. You can use Markdown. You can also use it to set up recurring tasks. So it's really quite simple to actually use, and it just keeps the clutter out of the way. And that's what I really like about TeuxDeux. And as I say, the UI is basically really beautiful because it's so simple and is actually created by a professional designer. It is the task manager choice of Matt Develier. He's been using it for many years now. I came across it, a very long time ago. It's always been on my radar. I always felt though that I needed a little bit extra, but if ever, and I will confess something here, if ever I'm beginning to feel overwhelmed, which does occasionally happen, I often will just move 5 to 6 of my most important tasks, just add them in To-Do and work from To-Do on that particular day. Now that does happen very rarely, but it does happen. And To-Do is a great way to get you totally focused on what is truly important. My third one is Apple Reminders. Now, Apple Reminders has come a long way. Now, I've chosen this one simply because if you're in the Apple ecosystem, it's built into the operating system, whether you're using Mac or whether you're using an iPad or whether you're using iPhone. Now, if I'm being perfectly honest, Reminders has been built really for iOS. It's fantastic on the iPhone, it's fantastic on the iPad, not so good on the desktop, I find. Now, one of the great features of using Reminders is its Siri integration. I use Reminders really as my shopping list, my grocery shopping list, because I can be in the kitchen, I can be cooking dinner, and I could run out of broccoli or carrots or whatever, and I could just ask Siri to add that to my shopping list. So it just makes it so easy to use. Plus, if, as in my case, my wife also uses iOS devices, I can share a folder, I can share a list with my wife, and we can interact with it just so easy. I mean, our shopping list is a shared shopping list, which is just fantastic because my wife can add things to the shopping list while we're out and about, while she's out and about. If I'm at the supermarket, it's there on my list. And that's one of the reasons why I like using Apple Reminders. I also tend to consider Apple Reminders a bit like my hobby task manager. I'm really curious about what Apple are doing with it. They added tasks this time round, added tags this time round, which does make it quite a solid task manager. And my fourth and final one is for those of you who prefer to see things visually, and that is Asana. Now, Asana and Trello are pretty much very similar. I just find Trello is a little bit cluttered, and I've been using Asana now for, I think it's about 6 years, to manage the content that I create each week. Now, I don't just create YouTube videos. I also create blog posts, newsletters, and a podcast. And I like to manage all that in one simple board. And Asana has been my go-to board. So I can just drag things along, a nice line about what's in planning, what's in production, what's post-production, what's waiting to be scheduled, and what is scheduled. I like to be able to manage that on a week-to-week basis so I know where everything is. So I don't really use Asana so much as a task manager, but if you want to use something that is visual, then Asana is a great tool. Again, that simplicity is there, but you can add subtasks in there. So you could actually create a main task as a project, and then you can add the subtasks underneath in the subsection to make sure that you're moving it forward, which is what I do with my YouTube videos. So those are my 4 favorite task managers, the 4 task managers that I would highly recommend to anybody looking to get started with task managers. Number 1, Todoist, because it's simple. It can work with a low number of tasks, and it will grow with you. Number 2, if you're really looking for a minimalist task manager that gets everything out of the way and just really focuses you in on the tasks that really matter today, that would be To-Do. If you're in the Apple ecosystem and you've got an iPhone, an iPad, and a computer, a MacBook, and you don't want to be spending money on third-party applications, then Reminders should be your go-to to-do list. It's really simple, and its Siri integration is second to none, of course. And finally, if you are more of a visual person, then I would always recommend Asana because it just is a much cleaner interface, I feel, than Trello. And its free service is just phenomenal. I mean, you get so many features just on the free service. As I say, I've been using Asana probably for about 6 years. and I've never needed to upgrade to the paid version. So well done on that one, Asana. So there you go. Those are my 4 top task managers that I would highly recommend to anyone who's entering the field or looking for a good task manager. All 4 of these have been around for a while. They're solid, they're going nowhere, and they're built by people who really care. Well, thank you very much for watching this episode, and it just remains for me now to wish you all a very, very productive week. Hello, thank you very much for watching my videos. Now I have something exciting to tell you about. Recently I have developed a brand new time management system. It's a system designed to manage your time in the 21st century. The world has changed a lot over the last 20 years. In fact, it's actually changed a lot this year. And what we need now is a system, a time management system that is very easy to use, easy to maintain, so that you can spend more of your time doing the work. And that's what the time sector system is all about. It's going to change your whole belief system about the way a time management system should work, because this focuses on when you are going to do the task. And let's be honest, it doesn't matter how motivated, inspired, or how urgent something is. If you don't have time to do it, it is never going to get done. And that's what this system is built around, getting your work done, so you can spend more of your time doing the things that you want to do. I hope you join me in this course. The full details of the course are in the show notes below, so please join me, and thank you very much for watching this brief video.